today to watch this webinar on email marketing. You're going to learn a lot of different secret nuggets in this 1 hour presentation. We have the Easter bunnies up here because it's the Easter weekend, and maybe I should have changed it from Easter nuggets to Easter eggs, or the secret eggs or something along those lines. But regardless, hopefully that, the whole point of this presentation is to help you understand how email marketing, understanding the concepts, the theories, the thought processes behind it, how that could really help you leverage some of the other traditional marketing efforts you guys are doing to get rankings and results for your end clients. I'm sure you guys have seen, if you've watched my presentations before, I usually open with this slide, and I chose to do that again today because us as WSI or us as consultants have different options on how we could bring in targeted traffic towards our clients. We could use paid search marketing, we could use search engine optimization, and of course social media, and there's email marketing. Now, being in this industry and starting off, even working under WSI franchise support at head office, I find that the email marketing is actually least sold. Most ICs do not sell email marketing, and there's probably a simple reason because, if you look at paid search marketing or even SEO, that's more, you could say, factory driven, where you get a select of keywords, you send it to your supplier, they do the keyword research, they provide the monthly reports, and there's no really real thought process behind it anyways. I know, of course, which keywords to pick and so forth, but really that's about it. So it's simple, it's easy to sell, and you could just, keep turning it over. Whereas email marketing, on the other hand, this now becomes a little bit of a challenge because now you're selling a concept, an idea, a campaign, and it involves creativity, involves landing pages, some advanced tracking and funnels and so forth. So much more difficult to sell or to even implement because there's a lot more strategy involved. But we're going to show you today how you could take some of those thought process and ideas, simple concepts, so you're able to talk intellectually about email marketing to your prospects and clients, and perhaps even close other, there's different cases where we talk about email marketing, but we ended up getting landing pages deals or a pay-per-click campaign just because of our knowledge on that specific system. And I'll show you how you guys could tie that in together. So just going over some quick facts, if we want to look at return on an investment for email marketing, if you recall that previous slide, all of them could bring ROI to a client, but study after study, it seems that email marketing is always up there, either number 1 or number 2. Definitely blows everything else out the water in terms of a return on investment. So according to a research conducted by the DMA, the email marketing generated approximately $43.62 ROI for every single dollar spent last year. Now, it was higher in 2008, about $44.93, and you can see it's continued to slip. So it's predicted this year the return on investment for every dollar is going to be about $42.08. But that's still huge. It still blows away a lot of the other traditional marketing campaigns that we do. And I'll talk to you a little bit why it's slipping and where that trend is kind of shifting towards the end of this presentation. If you want to look at some conversion facts, and this is from Forbes Media as of last year, February, March 2009, it actually showed that email marketing and email newsletter marketing are considered the second most effective tool for generating conversions, right behind search engine optimization. And just some more quick ROI facts for you, and this is from what most people are familiar with from Marketing Sherpa. They saw that pay-per-click search ads ranked top for return on investment, followed by email marketing in second place. So I mentioned it before. Different studies, different years by different companies and different verticals. Typically, you're going to find that email marketing is usually number 1 or number 2 if you're looking at ROI, if you're looking at conversions, especially if you're looking at retention. So that's something you don't want to avoid when you are speaking to your prospects, because we know the value you could actually bring to them. So what are some of the variables for a successful email marketing campaign? So I am going to go through some of these, not all of these, just for the sake of time. But we all know, the subject line of your email marketing has to be important. The amount of subscribers that you have. I mean, if you could have the best subject line or the best product or the best service, but if nobody knows about it, or if your email list, your database only consists of 5 people or 50 people, that's not enough to get maybe enough ROI that you need. The value of the email content. What are you providing? I mean, just because you get somebody to opt in, that doesn't mean that they could delete your emails, put them in the junk folder, or opt out, unsubscribe, report it as spam. So you want to make sure that people are actually reading your emails. So the value is very important. The send frequency, that's also a variable. How often are you sending emails? I mean, is it too little? Is it too much? I mean, if you're blasting out an email every single hour or every day, in some industries that's maybe too much. And if you're doing it once every 6 months, you're losing that retention with your subscribers. And of course, there's that whole technology factor in terms of deliverability. Like, for example, the spam factors, did it reach everybody through different ISPs, different people's firewalls and filters that they set up. So all those are aspects as well that you have to consider when sending out emails. Segmentation. I mean, most people, this is where they kind of fall apart. They just take that one standard email and blast it out to their entire network. And it's not personalized, it's not customized. And I don't mean personalized where it says, hi, John, or hi, Bob. I mean in terms of their, what they actually decide to subscribe to. Perhaps, something local to their geographic area or a specific product or service that they're interested in. You want to make sure that you are able to segment your database. So if you had to deliver an email to people living in New York that are interested in this product, that have bought this product before, this is a campaign or a product or service that's going to help them. So let's send out a blast just to that demographics or that audience. So you have to have the flexibility of segmentation. And of course, tracking and testing. It always boils down to analytics. And there's a lot of different advanced analytics you could put inside your email marketing campaigns. So you can measure not just the basics like, how many people opened your email, how many people read your email, but you want to make sure you look at how far are people scrolling down. If you've got a long email, are people actually reading towards the bottom and then clicking, or are they not clicking at all? Are they coming back to your website? Are they putting in your promo code? Or they're printing out your coupon? Or whatever your goal was for your email marketing campaign, there's always a way you could track and measure, and we'll show you some specific examples of that as well. So starting from the beginning, if we look at the subject line, and again, this is a refresher for everybody. There's nothing new here, but we all know your subject line has to be compelling or engaging. So I'm going to talk to you about how you guys could do that in an effective way, because if your subject line is blah or boring, nobody's going to open up your email. And that kind of leads us into, well, what are some creative subject lines we could think of to help increase our open rates? And there's this whole concept of sending good news and bad news and how that could impact. And I'll show you an example of that. And I'll also show you why, other factors like the first sentence of your web copy is also very important to your subject line or your email marketing campaign. And again, when you look at these things that I'm going through, these are all tips and ideas that you could take and, again, use it in your discussions with your prospects when you are talking about email marketing, even if they are doing it, because it should open up their eyes and really position you as, not necessarily an expert, but you have knowledge in the field and could assist them. So let's look at the whole good versus bad news concept. So I'll use an analogy here. Is the whole, if most people, this is by human nature. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but we are attracted to bad news. We read about bad news in the newspaper all the time. We see, we're just naturally, we're glued to it, or it attracts us. So, I mean, if you're driving down the highway or driving down the road and you see, beautiful scenery, you see, clouds, you see trees, you see mountains, you're not going to stop most people are not going to stop their car and gaze and hold up traffic. However, if you see an accident on the road, and this is the whole rubberneck theory, what ends up happening? Everybody slows down, everybody stops, and everybody stares, and they try to see what happened, or, and people